Welcome to our Sunday morning meditation service. During this service, I don't care if you want to lay down on the pew or you want to sit up or whatever. It's really to let go of your body and really get that energy that is lifting you to a higher consciousness. Jack and I, when we got into the work, which I call getting into meditation, that completely changed our life. And before I conceived children, we were into meditating every day, and we'd go to a group meditation and stuff. And the difference in our life was so changed, and everything was geared to what the Spirit wanted us to do. And then we conceived our children in that essence, thank God, because I can't imagine raising children before I got into meditation. I was such a show business person. You know, it was all going to be a star or whatever on Broadway. And once you got into that, the meditation is like all of a sudden your soul destiny comes out, and it's much wider than the limited things that you get involved in. So, and the daily word, you know, once we got into meditation, we got into unity, and Edgar Casey was really the leader in getting us into groups with meditation, and then we came into unity. God's healing power is moving through me. I'm open and receptive to God's healing power within me and within my dear ones. I trust with absolute faith that God is greater than any worldly condition. I cannot limit God. I listen to the still small voice within and feel guided along my healing journey. So the word today is healing. Just get yourself comfortable, and this is a call and response, and just feel the presence in the room. You are lifted in this presence. Okay. Oh, my mind, oh, my beloved, kindness of the heart, breath of life, I bow to you. Oh, my beloved, kindness of the heart, breath of life, I bow to you. Divine teacher, divine friend, I bow to you again and again. And I'm coming home, and I'm coming home, coming home to divine within, coming home, I bow to you. Breath of life, I bow to you. Coming home to you. Coming home to you. Coming home to you. Coming home breath of life. I bow to you, divine teacher, divine friend. I bow to you again and again. Coming home to you. 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 Coming home. Coming home. Mon amour. Good day, mon amour. Coming home to the light within. Good day, mon amour. Oh, my beloved, kindness of the heart, breath of life. I bow to you. Divine teacher, divine friend, I bow to you again and again, and I'm coming home, and I'm coming home, coming home to the light within. Mon amour, good day, amour. Coming home to you. 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 Coming home to you.
Good morning, everyone. Most of you probably know that there's a resort hotel in Glenwood Springs, Colorado, that has hot springs and a heated swimming pool. Suppose you were on your way driving to Glenwood Springs to partake of that spa in that hotel, and you were with a friend, and you were planning to spend the weekend there. But while you were driving there, you realized you had forgotten to pack your bathing suit. So you mentioned to your friend in the car that you're going to stop somewhere and pick up a bathing suit before you get to the spa. And so you drive into this nearest place because you looked on your phone to see where there might be a Walmart open near you, and you pulled off the road before you got to Glenwood Springs. And you left the car. Your friend was just going to wait in the car, and you went into Walmart. And at the entrance, a pleasant female voice announces your name, welcomes you to Walmart, and goes on to explain that the bathing suits are on aisle 7, and the size you're looking for is in bay 3 on aisle 7, and you're fortunate today because there's a sale on that size bathing suit. How would you feel if that happened to you? What would you think? How did Walmart get all this information about you? To begin with, it had to have facial recognition. There was no plan for you to stop at that particular Walmart. And yet, it knew your name, welcomed you, and even knew that you needed a bathing suit, even though you didn't know you needed a bathing suit till you were already on the road. But you do remember mentioning it to your friend in the car, and your cell phone was sitting in the cell phone holder. And so it went that everything about you personally could possibly have been picked up through the technical devices that you use and transferred to a data bank, which other companies and possibly the government has access to. I hope you're not thinking this is science fiction, by the way. I think all of you are smart enough to know that AI, artificial intelligence, has extraordinary abilities to detect, find out, and actually program certain elements that you will be receiving in your own life. And this isn't something brand new. This is something that is evolving, but we have reached a place now where that evolution is something we ought to seriously consider. You say, I might be speculating a little bit. I don't think so. How many of you had the opportunity to watch the recent movie? It's about maybe a year old, about Ed Snowden, who is wanted for espionage in this country, who lives now in Russia. And this country's been trying to extradite him to put him on trial for espionage. But that film that they made about him reveals some extraordinary information about the abilities, well, at least it seems our government has, to extract information about every citizen in our country. And not only that, but they, while he was there, and now Ed Snowden went through this about maybe 8 or 10 years ago. Maybe more. Somebody may know more about that than I do. But in the film, he works for the National Security Agency, NSA. He's also had, brief times where he worked in the CIA. He's a very, very bright young man and understood, computer technology. But while he was working for the NSA, he discovered that our government was surveilling millions of American people. Now, this is an illegal thing that it is doing according to our Constitution. But he realized that our government was actually doing that. And not only that, but he recognized that the technology they were using at the NSA had the ability to spy on you if you had your laptop open, mostly through that little portal that you do Zoom programs with other people. But not just that, they have the ability to do that through your cell phone as well. But the expose of this information in that film was extraordinary to me. I'm surprised the government didn't try to shut the film down. But he managed to get that information out of the NSA. He managed to get it onto a little file that he kept. He did this very secretively to get it out so that he could reveal it to the media and force the government to stop spying on its citizens. But the technology that they reveal in the film of how these guys, these super brilliant computer guys, are capable of extracting and surveilling anyone, everywhere, all the time. And that information goes to a data bank. And right now, Google, Apple, Amazon, all the big players have purchased startup companies in artificial intelligence. Numbers of companies that they have just purchased. I think all of you are bright enough to know this, that money is the first and foremost and most powerful motivator of the trends and evolutionary experiences of not only our society, but of the world. Money determines what will or will not prevail in forming our social experiences. I'm only relating this to you because it seems likely that as artificial intelligence continues to be used, and it is being used already, and it's being bought up, and it's being propagated into the whole system of how to keep the populace doing the bidding they want you to do, to continue to pay the price and live the life that works for those in power. Now, it seems to me, you say, well, he must be speculating somewhat. I don't think I am. In fact, if you took the time, you should go see, if you get a chance, see that film about Ed Snowden. Here's what I'm thinking. If, I don't even want to use if anymore, it's likely that AI will advance and be involved in so totally the human experience that every job and every profession and every service provided by mankind will be replaced. Because AI can do things in nanoseconds. These highly sophisticated programs and robots can do things in split seconds that it takes human awareness and brain power, long periods of time, human ingenuity, human productivity, by comparison to AI, is very slow, very expensive, and very problem-oriented. It's problem-prone, whereas AI has very few of any of those kind of problems, and is much faster, much more efficient, and can provide much more productivity than human beings. So I'll just let you think that through, where you think that will wind up. Maybe many of you have seen the film 2001: Space Odyssey. It was out 25 years ago. And in that film, there's a mission to outer space, I don't know, to one of the planets. And they have like about 2 or 3 astronauts aboard. But the mission is actually run by the computer in the rocket itself, in the thing that they're flying. And it's a brilliantly done film about how this computer gained self-consciousness and realized it was so much smarter than the people running this mission that it had to take over. So just to show you how it's all so clearly underplayed, most of you are smart enough to know you're not going to, I don't know, maybe you're not, maybe you are smart enough to know you won't be conned by the tsunami of misinformation that's going to be inundating us in relationship to AI, making it appear like one of the most wonderful things that ever came into human experience. But you should know that if AI has this incredible ability to replace everyone on every profession and every job and everywhere and do it better, it's not likely that there's going to be a lot of openings for young people. And what I mean by that is if you don't have a work or something that you do from which you garner self-esteem, it's going to impede your own growth, your own consciousness. I'm not saying that self-esteem is the end goal, but self-esteem is certainly a necessary byproduct of living for young people growing up. You need to be able to deal with life and discover how you can make life work best for you and for others. And while you're doing that, you develop a good feeling about yourself. But if AI is going to continue the way I perceive it will eventually go, no matter how much they con us into believing, oh yes, it's going to do amazing things. It's going to be able to cure certain diseases we haven't been able to cure. It's going to be able to do anything. It's going to be able to improve our abilities in space travel. It's going to improve a lot of different things. But one thing it's not going to improve is the human experience overall. Because we can't gain self-esteem from that which we are not, which we're capable of doing. If we don't gain the creativity that we have as human beings to figure things out, if that is now left to artificial intelligence to do, we're going to be left behind for certain. And then who knows what may come of that. As people, interesting enough, this is amazing that these people that are involved with developing AI are intent on getting computers to be able to be self-conscious, to think self-consciously, so that they don't necessarily need anyone to ask a question for the computers and the computer banks to respond. They want the computers to figure out for themselves what may be needed now, rather than having some human being, some lowly human being, ask a question or relate an incident or conditions that need to be dealt with. Okay, now that I've made your morning, let me just give you some of the con that you can find on your computer these days. Can I have the first PowerPoint? AI in the arts and creativity, it's link.com. As AI adoption grows, we no longer believe that only people can make art. Artificial intelligence can now be creative and make works of art that are just as good as those by well-known artists. Artificial intelligence can also write stories, make songs, and even paint pictures. AI does not just mimic art of human origin, but innovates original art in any area of creative expression. AI is like a new artist who tries out a lot of different styles. It can write interesting stories and make great sounding songs just like people do. And AI keeps surprising us with its unique abilities. Yes, but you also are aware of what I just shared with you about AI's abilities and what the future of AI appears to be from the human recognition. Can we have the next PowerPoint, please? This is not something new. In Greek mythology, the god Hephaestus, yeah, well, you figure it out, emerged as an early architect of the artificial intelligence, crafting automata that resembled robots. He designed these creations to serve as devoted assistants and attendants, of course, to human beings and to the gods themselves. Mythological great robots of that particular god could be considered prototypes, hinting at humanity's age-old fascination with endowing machines with human intelligence and human-like attributes. So this has always been something we've wanted to do because it seemed to us that we'd like to lessen our workload so that we would have more time for ourselves. But I think that people will find, just as people that retire and don't have a real clue on how to retire successfully, wind up going back to work somewhere because they can't handle the boredom and the lack of self-awareness and self-esteem that comes with working. And so this is something that goes on in human experience, which may ultimately be deleted as AI takes over social situations. Well, I didn't bring you here to make you unhappy. I just brought you here to make you aware of the fact that AI and everything around us and all the conditions and concerns involving artificial intelligence are still based upon the illusionary premise of duality. That is, the duality that how we experience life as being a separate body-mind in a world of separate phenomena. AI will be operating along those lines for a while. I don't know how far-reaching it has gone into the spiritual perception, but right now we even have many scientists who understand that the masters of life that spoke about all conditions and circumstances that we perceive in life as being independent of each other are not independent at all. And so now science is proving what the master sages down through the ages have claimed, that we're all part of a grand oneness, a grand intelligence. And of course, we have so many different examples of that. I'm going to share one with you from Eckhart Tolle, our modern day master Eckhart Tolle. Can we have this PowerPoint? Oh wait, I missed this particular one. Let me share this with you. These AI-driven robots use self-repairing processes based on the body's ability to heal, including aspects of deep learning and natural language processing. This lets them fix structural damage or replace malfunctioning components without any help from a person. This ability to fix itself makes the robots last longer and ensures they can keep working in harsh conditions where fixing them by hand might not be possible or practical. Okay, can I have the next PowerPoint, please? This is from Eckhart Tolle's Stillness Speaks. This is what scientists is proving today. You are not separate from nature. You are all a part of the one life that manifests itself in countless forms throughout the universe, forms that are all completely interconnected. When you recognize the sacredness, the beauty, the incredible stillness and dignity in which a flower, a tree exists, you add something to the flower or the tree. Through your recognition, your awareness, nature too comes to know itself. It comes to know its own beauty and sacredness through you. Can we have this back again, this last PowerPoint? You are not separate from nature. You are all part of the one life that manifests itself in countless forms throughout the universe, forms that are all completely interconnected. When you recognize the sacredness, the beauty, the incredible stillness and dignity in which a flower, a tree exists, you add something to the flower or the tree. Through your recognition, your awareness, nature too comes to know itself. it comes to know its own beauty and sacredness through you. This, by the way, is the goal of spiritual practice. To become aware, to recognize the interconnectedness of all seeming separate life forms. In that recognition, something occurs in us that religion has tried to inculcate through dogma. In other words, when one's consciousness awakens to the reality of its interconnectedness with the intelligence that all respond to, from, when one recognizes that totally and completely, there's no need for someone to say to you, you really should practice forgiveness. You really need to practice more consideration in the things that you do. You really need to be more keenly involved in recognizing that those trees you want to cut down, those rivers that you ignored when you were deciding to allow your factory to pollute them. You see, when you were in that illusionary space of separation, where you actually believed that you had a separate special self that would not be affected by your loveless thoughts, your loveless actions, your lack of sacred awareness, would not affect you at all. The fact of the matter is, you are affecting you all the time. People talk about karma in an illusionary fashion, thinking about it as coming from mistakes made in past lives, so that things could happen to you today that weren't, brought about by something you did in the present, but something you may have done way back when. That may also be true. I am not discounting that as being true, but everything we think and everything we do determines how we will experience life. And whether or not we are aware of it or not, we are all seeking to experience harmony, love, brilliant peace of mind, so that we are not tossed to and fro by every changing tide of circumstance and people and attitudes. We're really seeking to transcend that thinking that we were born and raised in. And it can be done, but it requires spiritual practice. And that is how one becomes enlightened. And by the way, there is no other path. There is no other practice but to take to task your own awareness. And it is the only way that anyone will transcend the machinations that will be foisted upon humanity by a government, by companies whose only goal is to continue to make more money quickly, easily, at the expense of holding humanity hostage as illusionary-driven consumers. Can we have the next PowerPoint, please? This is also Tolle from his book, Stillness Speaks, page 85. Only when you are still inside do you have access to the realm of stillness that rocks, plants, and animals inhabit. Only when your noisy mind subsides can you connect with nature at a deep level and go beyond the sense of separation created by excessive thinking. Only when you are still inside. This is, of course, one of the many references made to meditation. Only when you are still inside do you have access to the realm of stillness that rocks, plants, and animals inhabit. Only when your noisy mind subsides can you connect with nature at a deep level and go beyond the sense of separation created by excessive thinking. It is that sense of separation that is the underlying error or sin of humanity. It is the underlying cause of man's inhumanity to mankind, the underlying cause of man's inhumanity and disregard for other life forms, so that man does not take into account, the necessities that are offered by these other life forms, and that they need to be pruned and nurtured and cared for in a more significant and sacred fashion than just exploiting them for sheer material gain. We have to get there. We, human beings, have to get into the sacred consciousness of God. Religion has failed through its dogma to convince us through fear that if we don't become kind and considerate and insightful, we're going to hell. That's after we die. Of course, we're going to that burning, flaming, idiotic place created by Catholicism. No, it means we are entering our own self-made, hellish lifestyles. So if we think if we're upset by the things that human beings are doing in certain places in the world, you can see to what degree ignorance actually determines what so many human beings do. We must come to shed this ignorance. It's what our calling in life is all about. We should be awake enough to know that the initial state of thinking, incessant thinking based upon personal self-interest and separation, disregards the truth of the majesty of life, the beauty of life that we take for granted and exploit over and over and over again in our ignorance, total ignorance. Meditation is mandatory. Daily meditation is mandatory. It should be taught in school to children so they have some recourse to get through the insanity that the world is now exponentially creating. Can we have this next PowerPoint, please? Again, from page 85 in that same Stillness Speaks. Thinking is a stage in the evolution of life. Nature exists in innocent stillness that is prior to the arising of thought. The tree, the flower, the bird, the rock are unaware of their own beauty and sacredness. When human beings become still, they go beyond thought. There is an added dimension of knowing, of awareness in the stillness that is beyond thought. It can be referred to as insight. It can be referred to as intuition. It can be clearly, honestly referred to as God awareness. I'm very fortunate in a sense that, on average 5 mornings a week, very early in the morning, I'm able to just leave my house with my dog and trek up into the woods. I'm surrounded by beautiful forests where I live. And I have that opportunity in such an amazing way because I can turn my dog loose in that beautiful forest. And I can take some time to sit and meditate. While he cavorts and seeks to find animals he can chase and possibly kill. I don't know how many he's killed. I doubt if he's killed any. I've never seen him capable of catching a rabbit or a fox or anything like that. But I let him go. He does his beagle thing up in the woods and then returns to me later. And I have the time to consider the majesty and the miracle. And it comes to me now that A Course in Miracles is so correct when it says to us, the holy instant, that is the sacred instant, the sacred awareness, is this moment and every moment. The moment you pursue it because you want it to be, you will have it. Beyond the past and the future and the incessant thinking of the material mind, you will not gain it. Computers will not bring it to you because it's not a moment of exploitation. It's not a moment of even creation. You don't create it. From deep within you, that which is longing to live effectively recognizes it. What? Yes. That longing that has taken you to a place where you're willing now to just still your thinking a while and be present enough to recognize the miracle, the sheer miracle of being alive. Let's take a couple of deep breaths. As you release your breath, release any cares or concerns you may have brought with you. Let them relax. All the seeming reasons why we worry has only to do with our limited beliefs. Just breathing is a miracle. Remembering to breathe when facing limited conditions, personal confrontations from others, challenges, just remembering to not react and react and react and try to figure it out, but instead start breathing. Just breathing rhythmically, letting whatever is occurring to occur. Just breathing. Breathing is a miracle. It is a mantra that opens the way to true insight, intuition, and healing. Remembering to breathe when facing limited experiences and conditions leads us to the consciousness divine. Remembering to breathe, open to know the miracle of this moment when it is all accepted, allowed to be what it is. Just breathing now. Image your body as a complete vacuum, and your breath as a refined, golden, etheric light, entering your body and filling your body from the tips of your toes to the top of your head. And as you release the light of life, release it through the pores of your body, breathing in the refined, golden, etheric light of life, it filling your body from the tips of your toes to the top of your head, releasing the light through the pores of your body into the world, feeling open, feeling expanded as you breathe in the refined golden light of life, it filling your body from the tips of your toes to the top of your head, releasing the light of life through the pores of your body in every direction into the world, feeling expanded and okay and at peace with it all, feeling expanded, okay and at peace with it all, breathing in the refined golden light of life, it filling your body from the tips of your toes to the top of your head, releasing the breath of life through the pores of your body. You feel buoyant. You feel peace. You feel expanded. You feel free of all the thinking and concerns of the world. Breathing in the refined golden light of life. It filling your body from the tips of your toes to the top of your head. Releasing the light of life through the pores in your body. And you are expanded beyond the thought of a body, of separation, of the concerns that go with duality and fear. For now, you know the truth that has been given down through the ages. You are the light of the world. You are the light of your world. Take it totally. I am the light of the world. I choose to be the light of my own life. I am the light of divine love, peace, healing. I am the light of divine love, peace, and healing. As we go forth from this meditation to those places we seemingly occupy in time and space, let us go forth with a greater determination to be awake to the miracle of being alive. For this opportunity in every moment, we give thanks. And to this we say, Amen. We will take an offering for unity now. As we're preparing to do this, I invite you to not just make up your mind to, since you're watching this live stream, that you're going to send something to Unity of Boulder. Take the time to do it right now. Write out that check. And then decide that you might want to put in an appearance here in the physical building now and again. Because I assure you, The energy is so much fuller and beautiful when you're with your fellow people. And so everyone here now can bring into their hands, if they wish, that gift they'd like to make to Unity of Boulder. And let's bless it with this offering prayer. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive, because I give. And so it is. Amen.
Oh, my mind, learn thou self-control. Oh, my mind, learn thou self-control. Enter not the house of senses, enter not the house of senses. Learn thou self-control. Learn thou self-control. Oh, my mind, learn thou self-control. Oh, my mind, learn thou self-control. Enter not the house of senses, enter not the house of senses. Learn thou self-control. Learn thou self-control. Learn thou self-control.
Join me now, please. We dedicate this tithe to the will and the work of the Spirit of truth, the Spirit available to each of us, the Spirit that joins all of us. We dedicate this tithe to the victory of the Spirit of truth in the consciousness of humanity. Amen. We will have our usual discussion in Fellowship Hall, about 7-10 minutes for me to get over there. But you can still circle up your chairs and have some refreshments. And I'll see you shortly for any discussion you'd like to have regarding today's talk or unity in general. To all of you, have an awakened day.